All right, and we're live again.
Yeah, I don't know the way.
So I was just checking the timestamps there. We were out all of like 6 minutes.
We did an hour and 10 minutes of live show.
Yeah, I think that's why. I'm not sure.
Or that was like right where you left or something.
Yeah, well, just slid running on the computer. I don't know. Yeah, we're all back, guys. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties, but this is what Reaping's all about. The unexpected.
Just doing what we can. No backgrounds or anything. It's just us.
But the good news is everybody's
People are
tank
coming
is
on.
still running.
Yes, everything is still
Sweet.
running. Everything is still running.
Geomatrix J in the house.
Yeah.
All right.
That's so funny.
My son Landon's on. He should be in bed.
Landon, you just blew it.
He's
Right.
Just don't comment. Just watch.
He's in bed, but he's on the phone.
Yeah. Hey, Dad.
Landon still wants snakes and reptiles.
Yeah.
That's too funny. That's unfortunate that it ended like that, though.
Yeah.
Now we're like mighty claustrophobic now.
It's been a very weird night tonight. Everything's going weird tonight.
It's all right though.
You know,
It happens. It happens.
Shit
Tom
happened.
from Felix, he fell. He got hurt. Needs stitches. Internet's gone out.
See, Murphy's Law.
My computer took like 20 minutes to turn on.
Right?
That is insane. Unfortunately, the ultra special guest that I was waiting on, he's having some technical difficulties as well.
Don't feel so bad.
Oh, there we go.
There's Jeff in the house.
All
What's up,
right.
guys?
So, special little surprise for y'all. We got Jeff from Coral
Look
View.
at that view behind him. Jeff, it looks like springtime behind you.
There's dirty laundry back behind this fake window. That's where my kid's desk is, behind my desk. So right
Cool.
now it's the folding table.
Little Jeff.
What?
So how you doing?
You putting up backgrounds and stuff now, Ryan? Oh,
I'm good, man. How are you?
all right.
We're muddling through the tech support, everybody, so bear with us. What don't kill us
Yeah.
makes us stronger.
Right. So, Jeff, viewers want to know what is the status update?
Say that again.
What's the status update? How's everything rolling out? Is everything being received well? I mean, you guys happy on your end?
This has been like a couple of the craziest weeks of like my adult life. Like I worked at Marine Depot in retail before this, and you know, you kind of know who your competitors are. There are other stores, and then coming to like the distribution manufacturing side, there's just so much more going on. So leading up to the launch, it was looking really good. I mean, analytics, everything's promising. And then, I mean, I think you guys kind of know some of the scoop.
Yeah.
We
see everything.
And then, so like the groundswell of support, you know, there's like this grassroots thing that I've never seen before. On Friday, I was at Lake Arrowhead with my wife, and we were at lunch, and this like bomb went off, and I just couldn't believe it. I mean, it was amazing. So how am I feeling? Just really good. I mean, people seem to be responding to the product and the platform well. I think this is something that's long overdue. I never got a controller, even though I worked at a store. I could have got one at a discount, but I just could never justify it for the gallons that I had.
Right.
So what we're offering now is like in my wheelhouse. I think a lot of hobbyists watch shows like this, and they're like, I'm not like those guys quite yet. You know, I'd like to be. I've been at it like a decade or so, and I still feel like a beginner. So, yeah. What do you guys think? How are we doing so far?
I mean, everything that I've seen, ultra positive. I mean, there's been a few little hiccups, you know, some questioning about the power supply or the Wi-Fi power strips and everything.
Yeah.
But other than that, everything ultra positive.
Did you guys watch that the reef automation one earlier? They talked about this. Okay.
I slept through it. I mean, I didn't get home until 5 o'clock this morning, so I was sleeping. But I am gonna go watch it.
Yeah, it was good. You know, I knew going into that one that Carlos and Don were going to get thrown tougher questions. You know, just on a personal level, I thought that it was strange that right after we went home for work, like suddenly there were posts about this controversy that like we couldn't really reply to. But we knew that question was coming, and it seemed like, you know, once people got the truth, I mean, you know, mission number one was to make aquarium automation affordable for everyone. So I don't know if everyone was expecting that the strips were going to be built here or more rugged. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure what the controversy was about.
Well, the only difference between the ones that were out versus the Hydros ones was really the branding. Like that's what I gathered from the whole thing. They were trying to say they were the same, but the housing was different just because one says Hydros.
They are the same. They were the same. I mean, they are the same. But I mean, we tested 60 different smart, you know, or Wi-Fi strips to get there. So, you know, you could watch that that live stream to learn more. But you know, there were you know, some dangerous stuff out there. This we feel good about. I think there's something like 17,000 hours tested in the latest strips. So
I've seen a lot of people are asking me or asking on the site was, you know, like UL ratings on them, like.
It's not it's not UL listed. I mean, listen, I'm not the expert on that topic. But from what I understand, the UL listing is an expensive thing to get. But you know, I actually got it here.
That's a lot of
the ETL. So I think we got. Oh, I'm getting some feedback. Well, you know, equivalent. You hear me okay?
Yep, you're heading back a little.
Sorry.
There you go.
Hey, okay. Don't touch anything.
Any launch is not without its hiccup. Every big launch, no matter how big the company, any company, Apex is at them, GH is at, any big launch is going to have a hiccup. But it's 100%. We always look to you guys like Corvu, how the hiccups are handled, and it's always going to be something.
I'm sorry, I'm hearing robots in my ear.
It's definitely getting a little feedback there.
Yeah, let me see if I can just take this off.
It's better than bats in your belfry.
Okay, well, in the meantime, listen here. Gematrix Jay, awesome. Thank you for the support. We really, really appreciate it. Every little bit there helps us keep going forward and doing what we need.
That's awesome. GJ in the house. Sounds like somebody eating chips. All right, we got him back there.
I don't know. I tried to look for another mic before I got on.
Yeah, we doing it.
Right. Okay,
it's a night of technical trickery.
Right. We're gonna have to try and get Carlos and David back on, just to kind of cover a little more in-depth stuff. Really, we were just kind of bringing Jeff on to kind of get Kevin an overview, you know, put a face to a name and everything. Jeff's the wonderful magic behind a lot of the scenes with a lot of stuff.
I'm sorry, guys. Here, let me see if I can get another mic. I'll jump back on.
Okay.
Back to you.
Looks like Landon's finally going to bed, Ryan. All right. Ooh, it wasn't Jeff. Was me? Is it feedback on my end or something here? That's super weird. What is going on? Ryan, say something.
Feedback. You guys.
D, you're muted. Yep, nothing. But nothing, D. Did we all crash the system or something today? Yeah, nothing. Ryan, say something. Ryan. Nothing, D.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm back up.
There. Now you're back. But Ryan's saying anything. Ryan, can you even hear us?
This is a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test. Should
Yes.
you run into trickery, this will be your sign.
I think that's Ryan's mic.
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking.
Poor Jeff just threw his headset in the garbage.
Damn with this thing. Ow. Oh, see, he's cheating, pulling out the headphones and everything now like that. And Ryan's gone.
It was Ryan's.
Yep. Dang you, Ryan. At least we got Jeff.
That was really loud. I got to turn this down now.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were talking about where we left off. We were talking about the Wi-Fi power supply because I caught the back end of that. They were talking about the connection of the controls.
So what he was talking about is how they tested a bunch of other Wi-Fi controllers, and the one that they have is the best. But the one that was getting posted is the same. It's just not branded the same. So I was looking at some stuff here, just kind of running through these.
I'm just
Jeff.
looking at Jeff. He's got all kind of things going on. He's under the table.
So I
That's
don't want to
hysterical.
dig too far into the wireless stuff, like the Wi-Fi power strips and everything, just because we're gonna get Carlos back on, and at that point we can really grill into that. So
The better
Jeff-
point was an affordable controller for people
Yeah.
that aren't going to go out and spend $1,000 on a controller.
Oh yeah. And Jeff is, to explain to everybody that's watching, Jeff is more the behind the scenes guy. So Carlos and David are kind of the face. Jeff just kind of helps take care of all of the other stuff, making sure that, like their shows run properly and everything. He's an awesome dude, great person to know. So I'm super grateful that Jeff decided to jump on with us. Definitely makes the night a little better here.
And shout out to even my freshwater people out there, because I know we're always we are the Reef Collective and we are talking reefs, but there are some very, very big planted tank people out there and people that just want to control systems. And this is a solution that may just get you into the controllability. It's at a good price point, has a ton of features. You can control multiple tanks. All my fish room people, this is for you. I'm talking to you right now. My guys with 30 tanks, 10 tanks, 12 tanks. You can monitor multiple tanks with one system. I think that's a major selling point without going deep into the bank account.
Yeah. I'm really loving that Ryan finally jumped on. Ryan, we're going to have words later. Notice something, and I keep laughing about this. I was like, what is that little sticker on the window? Jeff has a hydro sticker on that background there.
I didn't know if that was a real background or not for a while. I was like, it looks really nice out there.
I don't know,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it looks to be moving, so I'm kind of
It's a fake
what you
background.
got going on? Because I know The Office, like I've seen it without a background and everything, but I don't know if it's like a green screen background in the green.
Well, he said
screen.
he said his kid's desk is behind his. So
Oh, I hope he didn't leave. If he left, this is
I
gonna.
think he's restarting it so that he can come back in with the other microphone and stuff.
Yeah, but how's he gonna come in? Ryan's the one with the control, and Ryan's gone. Oh,
Reef Collective.
I'm telling you, this day is just.
Now Ryan's like, "What's up with the audio?" He just sent the message. It's live, baby. It's live 100%.
Mm-hmm. It was all you, Ryan.
So Battle OCR says he wouldn't rely on for his 650 to upgrade, but perfect for the smaller tank. So now, okay, you say bigger tank, smaller tank. Big tank, smaller tank, you're still testing the same parameters, pH, temperature. So the size of the tank really doesn't make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're dosing, you're talking about the amount of dosage, but if you're talking about controllability, you're still using the same devices. Using a pump, you're using lights, you're using the heater. Same devices, just different tank.
Yeah. David, I agree with you 100%. They definitely needed to be adjusted there. That's a complaint that I've been putting out since day one with these, especially with like the wave engines. It's a cost thing. You know, to get 90-degree angle plugs costs a lot more than the straight plugs going out. So hopefully, fingers crossed, they release those as an option, you know, where you can buy 90-degree cables. I don't know. We'll see. But yes, I agree. It's kind of annoying that they just come straight out.
Depends on the length of the cables, though, because you do want to have those drip loops. You don't want them for all intents and purposes. Some of those angles allow people to mount their stuff in kind of bad predicaments. I mean, I was doing some wiring this week. I know Ryan was watching me. I was doing some wiring this week, and we kind of get so caught up in the cosmetics that you still need drip loops, people. I mean, I don't know how you would do it. I haven't used the 90-degree cables just because most of my cables are right under the tank instead of off in those kind of angles. But yeah, since like the tank you were looking at, the Pro Max, since it has the controls on the side, do you still need 90-degree angles? Because I'm not sure where you're gonna run those cables.
Well, and David was just talking about having them come out the bottom. The way that the box is designed and the chips are, like, you couldn't do them out through the bottom like that. Did you pull that up?
Ta-da! It's like magic.
I'm just like, wait a minute.
I think Ryan's a ghost.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, what is going on here?
Oh, great reef god.
I'm super.
Kaiser Sosa.
I'm super confused now.
He's still functioning, but he's taking himself out because the audio is apparently bad. What a night, Insane Reefer. Hey, look at the bright side. When you were showing your tank, everything worked right. IR is in the house. Jeremy, yep, bigger is better. Yeah, big tanks are better, but big tanks are a lot more work.
Yes.
I love my little tanks, but I love my big tank, but I love my little tanks. So now Dave Mai is building a very large tank. I didn't see where he was putting his control panel on his tank, but seeing how you are in Australia, now, are you using those 90-degree cables on your tank? Did you get that far? I know he has a lot of the cable management still in the works, but that's something to think about too in controllers, like the cables. I really don't give the cables a lot of thought.
Yeah, well, and most people hide their stuff and kind of move it around, so it really doesn't make a huge difference. But no, on the wave engines and the controls, definitely needs like 90-degree cables because they legitimately just plug in and come straight out, and then you can't really bend them, so they stick out. You know, a good like 2.5-ish inches. Like that's a lot. They look like porcupines in your electronics cabinet area there.
A lot of us got wire octopuses under our tank. Quite a few. No matter how much you clean up, because then you add one more thing. You got to move all the wires all over again. I was up for about 2 hours, like trying to get this Google Home, everything wired, because I replaced the power supplies on 2 of the tanks. And I was like, I didn't even remember what some of the wires were. Like, do you tag your wires? You tag your wires?
Every single plug underneath my system has a tag on it.
What do you use for your tag? What tags do you use?
Just a regular label maker, and then you just extend it out so that you can wrap it and fold it together.
Because I was using Avery labels, labeling the cables, but then I said, well, why label the cables? I can label the power supply. But then I pulling wires out, and I'm like, okay, I forgot which wire this is.
Which one goes to which power breaker?
I forgot which wire this is. I'm starting all over again. Shout out to Trinidad and Tobago, David's Reef from Trinidad and Tobago. Hey, Dave, you have a controller in your tank? That's the other thing. Like, okay, if I'm in Trinidad, I mean, these guys are on all different power supplies. Some places you go, they don't even see controllers. People don't use any tank controllers, like pH, none of that stuff. I seen guys using straight up ocean water. I was in the Bahamas. I saw when I say beautiful tank, Sean, this guy was using ocean water. They went down to the, I forgot what they call it, the bay or whatever, and they were bringing back the barrels of water, and he was filtering it, and he wasn't testing anything. He was just using ocean water. The most beautiful tank. It had to be about, I think it was about 200 gallons or so. It was 6 foot by 30 inches by 30 inches. It's about 200 or so gallons.
That's insane. I mean, I wish I lived somewhere where I could go and do that and where I trusted the water. That being the big thing is where I trusted the water.
Well, as long as you don't get those, what is it? Red tides, where you get red tides, then you're screwed. Or you just don't change the water. You leave it for a while. Definitely going controller. Yep, Dave. If Mr. Mai didn't get a controller, I would be extremely surprised. But I thought you had the Apex already.
Yeah, I don't even know what Aquatronica is.
Aquatronica, right?
I'm looking that up. I have never heard of that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you go in different countries, they got all kind of stuff that we don't even see hit the market.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
Jersey Shore. Yeah, CR, yeah, Candles Reef. I don't trust Jersey Shore water either. And just to give you a funny story, a friend of mine, he started a 55-gallon saltwater tank, and he decided to bring home some water from the ocean. Good old Brooklyn Breezy Point Bay water. He had all kind of things swimming in his tank. He had hydras in the tank. He had snails in the tank. He had bristleworms in the tank. He had everything in the tank.
Wow, this thing's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah?
Different interfaces and stuff for measuring different things, and the different probes and electrodes and water leak sensors. Wow.
Now, let's see. Let's see if I can pull it up here.
It's got a 3-head dosing container, a whole bunch of stuff. That's cool.
What's the name of it?
Aquatronica. Huh.
Okay, I got it here. Now, if you guys are using devices like that, let us know, because I'm learning a lot tonight. There's a lot of devices that you just don't see. Touch controller. Okay, now they have a touch controller basic. They have the deluxe. They have the evolution. Let me see what the deluxe is here.
I don't know. I'm digging this touch screen though.
Touch screen.
7-inch touchscreen. There you go, Coral View and Neptune Systems and GHL and all of you people out there. That's what you need. Step it up. We need touch screens.
Okay, I'm gonna bring it up here. I have the Aquatronica. Let me move into focus. The Aquatronica. Now, I don't know what country this is based out of, but you can see, let me go into the UK power supply. Basically the same principle. I see the small temperature probe. That's one thing I don't particularly care for. I've used these little temperature probes, and they tend to go out of calibration a lot. They're usually the Japanese made temperature probes, so they do lose calibration, but on the lighter end they're cheap to replace. And that is the Aquatronica.
Yeah,
Now let's
they're
go
Italian.
functionality.
You can tell from the logo that they're Italian because it's got the green, white, and red. And David even said Italian if he remembers correctly. They are. They're cool though. I would be
I'm gonna
interested.
pull up the touch controller.
Ooh,
Okay,
Jeff.
everybody.
Jeff.
Oh,
Can't
I don't
hear
hear you, Jeff. Unmute your mic. I think his mic is muted this time.
Let's see if that one works. Say something, Jeff.
Nah.
Nope.
Plug the other headset in, Jeff. It wasn't you. It was Ryan's headset. Plug your other headset in. Take that one out and plug your other one in.
The wireless one.
The one you had. What are you drinking? No name brand, Sean? Or you just covered up the logos?
Can't advertise for brands.
I got you.
I learned from Jay
I
Wilson.
got you. I like that.
Smart plugs on Alexa. Yeah, I mean that works.
How
well,
about now?
Yeah, we got you. Now we got Jeff.
Cool.
It was Ryan.
So we put you through all of that headache. Sorry, Jeff. It was Ryan's headset. Ryan's system was going.
That's
We
okay.
blamed it on poor Jeff. He threw his headset around, and it was
I don't
cool
know.
all the time.
So like the cool guys don't wear headsets.
That's
Hey,
right.
cool guys wear headsets. Now.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't have a headset. No headset. I'm just saying. I got all that expensive computer gear from streaming.
Well, I got the Bluetooth stuff, but I don't like to trust the Bluetooth stuff.
Like under my desk, I have like all these headphones and adapters, but I was crawling under here and I couldn't
Yeah, that
find
was
two that I
very
needed.
entertaining. We were like, he's under the desk.
It's a stand-up desk. I could just raise it up.
Oh,
There's a lot of
nice.
room down here.
I'm
That's where
jealous of one.
What,
I
the
know.
stand-up?
Yeah, I need one, especially at my office. I actually thought about buying one the other day just to raise everything up so that I could stand up while doing like taxes, because I do those during tax season. Let me tell you, it's 10 hours a day, 10 to 12 hours of sitting there just doing this number. It's mind-numbing, and it'd be good to stand. I need to look into that.
Well, we got a guy that actually did a 300 reef build, and he used the legs from a stand-up desk for his hood, so that he could raise his hood lights the way you raise and lower the desk. I thought that was a great idea.
Ooh,
Use
right.
the hydraulics.
Let's see.
Ryan's back. Let's see if the noise comes back. Ryan's muted. He's feeling blue.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you, Mr.
Yeah.
Verizon.
I got a different headset. Try this instead.
We'll see how well this one works for the 5 minutes. I'm telling you.
Holy- Yeah,
Murphy's
exactly.
Law, man. Everything and anything that can go wrong has gone wrong. It blows my mind.
I still hit the comments for you guys.
We were like, how are the comments getting posted?
Ryan being Casper over here.
The cat-
I'm doing it. I was doing it.
That was awesome, man. Never miss a beat.
That's insane.
Nope.
Okay.
Make sure you guys keep rolling.
Oh, so Parker's Reef was using the desk legs.
I
Rapper.
like it. I like his channel.
How's it going, Jeff?
Yeah.
Pretty good, man. Yeah, I want to get Parker on one of our lives because I mean,
Great
so many
growth.
things on his channel are things that Coral View sells. I mean, he's gets to see them before I do, and just we talk about the jump stuff, talk about the coral care. He just put that the Philips Hue. Yeah. So
he has a great build coming.
And I like that he calls me mate. So that makes me feel cool.
Oh, Jeff. Okay, so I see that you have a control in hand now. Is that just a pretty display box, or are you actually going to use it, Jeff?
Okay. So, well, this was, when all that controversy was going on. This was a unit I took to Marine Depot to test with them, and they liked it, and they put their order back in that day, and so I was like planning to get one, and I was excited that this would be mine, right? And now we're gonna do a live with them, I think on Thursday, their first live video. And so I got to give it back to him.
Oh no!
So it was going to be mine. I mean, it was for a couple of days. But honestly, I had a tank disaster over the summer, and all that I have running are freshwater tanks in the kids' rooms, and then basically rock and macroalgae. So maybe I'm more in the Control 2 area right now.
We had a question about that, and you can still control them. I mean, you can still set them up. We're under the guise that only big reef tanks need controllers, but you can control anything.
I'm with you, because like marketing's the job, right? I mean, we got hobbyists on staff that are experts. Me, I'm like the 12-year beginner. But from a marketing perspective, all that data that we're accumulating, don't worry, we don't really know who you are. It's all very general. But taking that information, you're not really sure how to use it in the beginning. But over time, you find ways to apply it. You look for trends, and it makes things so much more
manageable.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to trying this. I remember, gosh, I don't know what year it was, but I think I said it on one of your streams that Digital Aquatics Lifeguard, and there's been a few products where I thought, ooh, this is gonna be a hit, and that one I thought, oh, this one's for me, like just a monitor. This one's gonna be a hit. I
still have a Lifeguard UV sitting in a corner somewhere.
Yeah.
It almost always ended up with water on the floor, that Lifeguard.
Do you think there's a market for just the monitor? I mean, it seems like a lot of people are saying it, but I don't know.
I think it breaks down to price point. If you get a monitor that's going to be reasonably cost effective, then yeah, there's definitely a market there. Something that monitors some stuff, gives you some basic information, like temp or power or whatever, there's definitely something there for that. But why would somebody go and spend $150 on a tank monitor when they can spend $200 and have a control that's going to do more?
Exactly.
Yeah,
got to be an ultra competitive price for just a monitor.
Yes, because now you're talking about marketing. Now, marketing, when you're talking about monitor, you're looking at people at either plus 2,000 into their aquarium, or they travel a lot. And now with the way technology is, a majority of the homes now are going smart. And the whole thing with smart control is monitoring. So if you can add your system into that mix, by all means, why not? But price point is key.
I was resistant to the whole smart home thing, but now I have kids that never turn a light off, and I'm ready now. I'm ready to, like when I'm just exhausted at the end of the day, I just want to be like, turn off the living room.
No, you know what I'll tell you,
exactly.
Jeff?
I have like Alexa runs my tanks.
I do you one better. Alexa and Google run my AC units in the summer. So when it hits that temperature, it cuts it off and it tells me if somebody turns the AC back on. I can cut it off from my phone
Yeah.
at work. Best
All
thing I ever bought. The best.
I would never want to live with somebody like you. Although at the same time, nobody would ever give me that power because I'd be at work and I'd be like, they're being lazy. They're not doing anything today. Let's just
Click. Raise
turn
the temp a bit.
lock this out too so they can't turn it back on. With the
Yeah,
hell
but now more people are home. You're talking about with all the things going on in the world, people are home a long time. So that's another factor. pH goes up because people are home that usually aren't home. So now you can see these things when you monitor your tank. Or Ryan had a situation with his tank. People came over and he saw his pH go up. If you weren't monitoring and you went to the tank and said, oh, my pH went up, why? You could attribute it to the time of day that it happened, who was home when it happened. It just adds so much detail to your system.
Yeah, there are a ton of variables.
Yeah. See, my pH dropped because I had more people.
But yeah, I mean, to answer that question, though, yeah, there's definitely a market for monitoring, but it's got to be, like I said, an ultra competitive price. Although, Jeff, I'm telling you, the one complaint that I keep seeing roundabout, and David even brought it up now, is the lack of angle to the cables for the Hydros wave engine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I mean, this started before I got here, so I didn't like the wave engine was already a thing that I started to market at MD before I came here. So this design was already chosen. I remember before doing the shows, before people were going to see the controllers, there was a lot of concern internally, like, should we just be up front and tell people they're ugly? Like, get ahead of this, get ahead of like what people are going to say, how industrial they look. And I never felt that way. Like, I thought they looked cool. They just looked like, a tough piece of hardware.
I'm not even gonna lie. When I first saw the wave engine, I was like, yeah, it's kind of ugly, but at the same time, it's kind of cool because it's got kind of an industrial look to it. Like, and now that I've got it, it's grown on me.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but people are being really critical because I had the first generation Apex and I have the second generation Apex. And I'm not talking about the one now. I'm talking about the one before now from like 2004. The first generation Apex had to go through an evolution before it got to where it is today. I mean, and this is revolutionary in the ways that we're giving people control at a more cost-effective price point, and you're giving them multi-tank control. I'm not using a Hydro, so I'm giving a fair assessment based on I sat through multiple streams with Carlos. Carlos will tell you, Jeff, I probably went through like 10 of his streams, and I asked questions at each one of them. I'm really critical because I have 12 tanks, freshwater, saltwater, reefs, breeding tanks, and I'm really critical of technology. So let's not beat them up. This is a first generation. This is a launch.
Mm-hmm.
It's doing very well as capabilities that other controllers don't have. The price point is there. And why not it for $150? People that would never have spent $799 on a controller, $150 is the price of a CO2 tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
It'll be interesting to see how it all rolls out.
I hope. Well, I mean, it's so far so good. I was gonna say Sean's probably said this on here because we've said it a lot. But like my Tunzi ATO costs $199. Why? I mean, I love Tunzi. Sorry, Roger. But I mean, for $199,
but it's
why
a
not
great
get a
ATO. I
controller?
use them on all my builds.
Oh, the Tunzi?
Me too.
They're very reliable.
Right here in front of me.
I got one for a new 420 gallon build I'm doing right now. I just picked one up.
I want to use the Tunzi ATO pump when I get this thing going. I mean, I know I've read other people not have that same experience, but for me, I had the ATO run dry on that thing. More times than I can count.
Right,
Never had a failure in 6 years. So
Yeah.
Me neither.
But you know, to me, that's kind of like
I got mine here. It's
there you go.
it's still in the box. I just had it delivered.
That's what I think an aquarium controller should be, is that, you know, I want to use this pump because that's the best, or it's the best for me, or I want to use this ATO pump because I had a good experience with it. I think, you know, when I got into the industry in 2007, that's what it was. Like, I thought that was the whole spirit of an aquarium controller. And so, you know, that's what we're trying to bring back here, is that we want you to use what you want to use, but what we want to do is make the hobby easier, and give you the information so you can make better choices. So hopefully we're able to do that.
From what I've seen, I believe that is definitely something that has happened. I mean, there's been such a wide and warm reception to this. It blows my mind.
Yeah, you know, and then there's people who were dug in, and I don't know if it's because, you know, they're really locked into that system, or, you know, it's there's some motivation for them to do that, but I don't see why having another option is a bad thing. You know, again, back at Marine Depot, Digital Aquatics was the bigger controller for a long time, and even when Neptune was you know, emerging as the bigger seller, that 199 kit, hey, what's up, Hulk? That 199 kit that we had was super duper popular. I think this is like the price point where a lot of people can get in, and the more people that we can get in and succeed, the better. Like, I worry about the longevity of our hobby without local fish stores. So again, just making it easier so more people stay in longer.
Wait,
There you go.
Ryan.
Oh, sorry guys. Again, technical difficulty. Well, here's the thing, right? And this is what I love about the price point on this. I mean, what's the average skimmer cost nowadays for a bigger system?
300. Oh no, for a bigger system, like 5. Now,
Your average 100-gallon system ish. You know, you're anywhere between, for most of them, probably $400 to $600, depending on what skimmer you're going with, right? And what part of the country or the world you live in and everything. I mean, there's some variables there. But even at $400, I mean, boom, that's the price. Or a controller's half that price. Okay, but you're getting automation and everything. So comparatively, that's like an amazing, amazing price point.
Yeah, and the outlets too. Like, I think, you know, again, I'm not super reefer guy like you know, all these YouTubers videos that I watch. But I can use those outlets on my kids' tanks too. I can use the outlets to be that lazy dad I was telling you about earlier. When I'm too tired to get out of my bed, I can turn the living room light off, or I can have the light in the garage turn on to alert me if there's a problem when I'm